2023. Mother Gaia, third dimensional planet, ascending into fourth dimensional collective consciousness. Azure,
Grand Rising Captain.
can you give me the update on third dimensional planet Gaia?
Yes, Christo, with pleasure. Gaia 3D currently is under critical condition. It seems there is a large amount of humans that have forgotten who they are, causing confusion, division and war driven by fear.
Thank you, Azure. Before we head down to Gaia, can you give me any information about the 3D world, as it's been a while since I've been there?
Sure, the 3D Gaia. We will face much resistance from negative polarity beings as a dual plane. Karma and Dharma are in effect. There is free will. It will be wise to protect our energy and hold love.
Alright, thank you, Azure. Sounds like we have quite the task at our hands. But that's why we're here, and that's why we've been called upon in the Galactic Federation to go down to planet Gaia, the 3D realm. Alright, Azure, let's get ourselves ready to go. Let's hit the time portal and make sure we land in the present day, Mother Gaia, third dimension. Whoa, oopsies. Yeah, not that one. Okay, let's try this one. Maybe this is the portal. Oh yeah, Azure, this is a little too far in the future. I think we need to kind of go back a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Modern day Earth.
Captain Christo, as we approach, I will prepare our guest suite on the mothership for the souls we hold space for. Oh, and Captain, I will be sure to leave plenty of storage for earthly food delights to take for our travels.
Oh my gosh, Azure, you never fail to make me laugh. You know those earthly delights? That good old food of earth. Absolutely gotta have that food of earth. Thank you, Azure. Alright. It is time. It's time to make our way down to 3D Gaia. To hold space, show love, compassion, bridge the conscious collective, and help provide knowledge and wisdom and tools so fellow souls can remember who they are, live in a unified mind state with a harmonious being, with holistic, conscious practices and tools that they may access efficiently and quantumly.
Welcome aboard. I am Azure. Please get cozy. Grab a tea, snacks or crystals as we prepare for a sacred light conversation. The sacred holding space is down the hall to the left. Wholeness, balanced love.
Hello. Grand day, everybody. Welcome to another Sacred Light Conversation podcast. You're live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I am your host, Marcus Christolight of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. And today we are joined by our sacred guest. He is a good brother of many different magic, healing, holistic, and beautiful divine practices. He is currently residing out of Germany. And I wanted to bring our brother on today because I had came across him a few weeks ago with a live that he had done with my co-host of Ascending Beyond Limitations, Sandy Marshall. And I instantly just felt a calling and a drawing towards our brother here, and the type of energy and the way that he carried himself with the gentle passion and unconditional energy. So I wanted to give him space to share who he was, a little bit about himself, his gifts of service. And if you guys have any questions for him as well, you guys can ask him questions in the comments. But without further ado, our sacred guest.
Yeah, thank you, Marcus. Much love and thanks for the opportunity to have that conversation. I'm pretty sure that we will learn a lot. Yeah. You know,
Absolutely.
Where I come from, I'd say very bonded to nature, although in Germany, I did not really I had not the chance to appreciate it. I haven't allowed myself to, as I've always kind of been more active in what was happening in my immediate surrounding, as like family dynamics or school that I didn't want it to be in, as many can understand. It just didn't feel right, the way that we've been told to, that I didn't want it to be live. And I kind of had to find my own way. And I know that every one of us has their way. And to tap into that and to keep reminding yourself to that is a gift that you can give to yourself anytime. So it's a good time to be alive, I must say. The appreciation for life and the gratitude for the moments, and just relationships, appreciating like the space that we can share in a room, right? Even like this, but feel it in our heart. And when we're in a connection like that, we can sense each other on a very beautiful level.
Yes, I agree. It's part of the reason why I just love so much holding these spaces and allowing opportunity for others just to come on and to be vulnerable and transparent and just express. These expressions are everything for us while we're in these human costumes. And part of being human is being able to express and being able to have sacred and safe spaces to be able to do so, because ultimately our expressions are more than just our personal self. It's more than just you or me. Our expressions actually are deeply connected and deeply interwoven into the whole universe and the whole entire collective. So just perspective for people out there is like, don't just think about how when you express something, or if you're holding back something that you're resisting, and it's kind of because of a personal reason, because maybe you feel like it's not worth it, or you don't think there'll be value in sharing, or you think that maybe nobody will care, or you'll just look dumb because you share and you speak your vulnerability, just know that you're doing something that's actually not even just empowering yourself or helping your own self, but you're also sending out a ripple. And that ripple is connected to the collective consciousness. And as vessels of alchemy, vessels of transmutation, multidimensional layers that we clear, we oftentimes are taking in and clearing collective energies, collective thought forms, collective traumas through our vessels and through our beings. So there's a lot of different layers and power behind our expressions and our vulnerability. And for some of us, we're definitely aware of this, generational clearing as well as ancestral healing. It's very powerful. So, and then your name again, it was Jarne?
Jarne.
Jarne, okay.
Jarne, yeah, viel. So, although eventually with the work that I do, people receive also ancestral healing, though I also only focus on strengthening the energy field and clearing it and supporting it. So it's very structured, and there's what I've came back to through Reiki as an example. It's there is an energy that we can allow to work through us, and this has less to do with the identity that Jarne is. It's more really as if you're carried along through this process and you're just watching it. But it's the most beautiful dream that you can have, and it's very beneficial for yourself, for your well-being if you practice, or if you do spiritual practices with an open heart, and you learn to get to know your own field, your energy, your physical body, your chakras, right? Different layers of yourself, different viewpoints that you can access to, and that are all part of your experience right now. So it's very important that people learn that knowledge. In the German language, there's way less content out about it. Way less people, especially I don't know anyone in my age or a little older that do any of that. It's or putting content out there and going inside, I just say the arena, and looking how you can navigate with what you're giving in this world, which we all kind of come to. I feel that we all find what we bring to the world. It's also what we've been given. Everything that comes to us, we have to see alchemy, right? We have to see what we're doing with it. And this is a challenge because you have to slow down in order to see it. And the last days, I had the opportunity to slow down. My body told me so. So I learned a lot in these days. And it's a process that keeps going. I have a vision, and look what I hold in my field as thoughts, as directions where I look towards to know where I'm at actually within myself, right? My own temple, my own palace, whatever you want to call it, within me. And everything I allow to come that is in resonance with that. Yeah. practicing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And something that's really been coming up for me lately is kind of just like really clearing out number one, the attachments, clearing out number two, the belief systems that others have put onto my programming, clearing out the limited beliefs, and clearing out the propaganda that has been filled into my subconscious. And along with that, also really having to like peel back those layers and really get real with myself with, am I holding on to other people's stories? Am I holding on to other people's beliefs? Am I holding on to other people's persuasions as my ultimate reality? How I should be living my life? Or what is resonant for my being with spirit? So I had to really sit with that most recently, more specifically with this time that I've had at home with my dad, taking care of him, because it's kind of put me in a place of sort of solitude and isolation in a way. And with that, I haven't been as connected to my physical community as much. But with that time, I'm able to observe and see for my own self, my own clarity, what is really serving me still and what's not. And, I just want to give people the encouragement to embrace those spaces. I know it can feel like you're lonely. I know it can feel like, you maybe have to get out there and be connected to people and all these different things. But I just really encourage us to embrace when the divine gives us those spaces of isolation and solitude, to really maximize that while you have it. As in, get to your solo practices with yourself, dive into your layers. If you have anything mentally going on, address that. If you have anything emotionally going on, address that. If you have anything physically going on, address that. That's what we're giving these spaces for, is to be able to provide that maintenance on self, as well as really get clear with our intentions and really set forth steps and a vision for ourselves. I mean, if that's what we use it as, it's our own free will. But for me, that's what I use it as, instead of kind of, sitting in it, being mopey, acting like I'm lonely, and acting like I'm powerless because I'm by myself. And of course, I've been there multiple times, plenty of times. But I just found it way more empowering for me to realize that there's a divine blessing and there's many gifts that come with the time of solitude and isolation. So yeah, it's been a really big calling for me, is like really discerning for myself, like, is this the type of future outcome I want to believe like everybody else is believing? Do I want to give in to the fear mongering, the propaganda that's being put out there right now? Do I really want to believe that, I'm limited to certain health and things of that nature? Because there's a lot of stuff out there right now, especially during this time. And, one of those things is like, conspiracies such as, oh, they're going to make us all get chips, and I love this example because it's like, we can either play with that and, mess around with it and fuel that fire and continue to fuel that illusion as the future that we're going to have. And sorry to break it to you guys, but the future is not finite. The future is not set. The future is determined based off of what we're doing in the present with our vibration and choices. So we can either just choose to like focus on that and believe that, and that's in the future, and it's something that may or may not happen. You don't know until that moment comes, if it does come. Or you can choose to reel it in, bring it to the present, focus on the present, and just kind of have what we call the good old term faith. Faith is something that I feel like has not been brought to the surface much these days. And with faith, you reel it back into the present instead of worrying about the future, being in fear about the future. You bring it to the present, and then you work on centering yourself and grounding yourself and keeping yourself connected to the above, and then staying present with that. Then you can embody your faith, that knowing that as long as you're present and you're present with what is and whatever that is to you, that's going to protect you. That's going to guide you. That's going to give you unconditional love. No matter what happens, physical or transitioning from the physical. Because we also have to remember that we're not just physical beings. The physical is just our most dense version of ourselves. The most temporary version of ourselves at that. So that's been huge for me. Really huge. How does that resonate with you? What do you feel about that, brother?
You gave me so many ways of how I could do this now, or things that I could talk about. I had to learn to identify my thoughts and to figure out who's talking there. Really, it's also a gift that you can give to yourself, finding out who is talking in your head, and just just sit with it. This is what I had to learn. Like fasting helped me, slowing down helped me, even exercising helps as well. Basically everything, meditation, reiki, everything that helps you move your energy, helps you to gain control, like just to take control back to you in the moment that you're in, right? Rather than blaming anything outside the circumstance or a person for what is. And you can choose in any moment to take what you've been given in this moment and do something with it. There's much going on. I haven't watched news for years. I'm really just seeing it when people like you are posting something, or it's like we gotta see to stay in it, to see things with the standpoint of like, what's the solution, what's it teaching us, and what's the solution. Because if I'm only looking at what it gives me negative, and I focus what negative thing it could give me, I focus only on that, I will most likely attract that. If I focus on like, how can I make the best out of this circumstance, then I find ways to do that. It's miraculous. It's really that easy, and life is easy if you find and if you are in your own natural rhythm with your essence, the core of your being, and learn to breathe. Learn to breathe and love, right? Learn to love and learn to breathe. Love with no condition, right? Give what you have and just take what you need. And be kind. Be kind, because what comes with being kind for me right now is like the energy of faith. It's like an energy. It's not a concept for me that I think about. It just is, and it's all good. it's all good. And if things are bad, know that this is an opportunity for the next step of your evolution and growth, and where you want to go with your life. So, yeah.
Yeah. And ultimately, in this realm, or this dimension that we're in, the third dimension, with having such individual beings, it ultimately is just going to come down to like, what is the relationship that you're choosing to have with the interactions that you're having in your life. Now, I'll say that again for everybody out there. Just very simple statement, but very powerful statement too at the same time, is what is going to be the relationship that you as a unique individual have with the interactions and experiences that you have in this realm. So it's really like, it's not up to anybody else to determine what your relationship is to that energy or to that experience. That's ultimately going to be up to you, and it always will be. Yes, people can influence you, they can manipulate you, they can put these inverted things into your cognitive functioning and all that type of stuff. But ultimately, it still comes down to you at the core of choosing what your relation is to your experiences. And wow, it's a powerful place to be in. And I kind of want to move a little bit.
Man, this is like what you've just described is healing. If you're looking at the connection between everything and the relationship that you have with that is in your experience right now, like, you understand healing. And yeah, I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
it's powerful, man. Like, when we really intentionally put our words together and then bring it back to that knowledge of simplicity and self, the feeling I get is so interesting. It's like this opening energetically of my body, my being, and it's almost like this blissful feeling just kind of coats me, and it's like, oh yeah, that's that eternal truth energy right there. Like,
yeah,
that's what we are.
Yeah. Like, and anytime you're not in it, like, you gotta get yourself out of there. Back in, and it's a place to come to. It's not where, like, if we look outside right now, where we see it, maybe, we gotta learn to be in it and learn what it means to be and who we are, and really getting to know ourselves, and learning through relationships, super important, right? What are mirroring what is the person in front of you mirroring to you, right? What am I saying right now? What type of reflection, what part am I playing that you're listening to me right now? And what you make with what I say is very important. Not that you really listen to the specific words of what I say, but like what you do with it. So it's always the application of what you do with the information that you receive, and it's a clear discernment that can be made from the heart when you have that center active and open, and you allow yourself to be in the heart, to be every like, for me, if I go into the center of my heart, I'm just like in everyone, right? Like, it's something that I've seen, like, as a vision. I think it's a very beautiful vision, and if I go inside the middle of the heart, like, I am in everyone else as well. I think there's one heart. This is where we all reside. And, from there on we learn healing, and it happens through you, right? It's nothing that you try to do, but it's something that you allow to work through you. So the less you do and the more you become familiar with that energy, and you learn to be in love and learn what love is with no condition, so unconditional love, and real love, like and proper discernment, right? Discernment is a key to know what's right and what's not, what is actually here the key in all of this, rather than the mud. You can choose in any moment what you do with it. So let's choose wisely, because we have the power to do so. And it's time that we leave away the power that we have for ourselves, and the power of our creation, and the power of our thoughts and intentions, and the things that we project out. Really coming to full responsibility to what you carry inside of you. And this is deep if you go in there.
Yeah, man. Wow. So I would like to kind of shift it into a little bit more of a little bit of your personal self, and a little bit about your journey and what kind of ultimately led you into this spiritual awakening, as well as, maybe like what kind of things were you dealing with in your life that kind of were the catalyst to you becoming spiritually aware, and what kind of things also led you into your practices such as Reiki, Kundalini yoga, and providing, I guess, what you can call sort of like spiritual or intuitive life coaching for people.
Yeah, thank you. It's important to know that in the last 4 years, maybe even 5 years, I started remembering. Maybe 7 years ago, I started remembering or realizing more energetically what really feels natural. Before that, it was very difficult for me to discern what's mine and what's not. So, until the age of 18, I had real struggle doing that. But it was still there until basically it's a continuous process, right? I'm at the outer edge of it now, where it's more subtle that I can see it all, that I'm still aware of it. But there were certain shifts that happened that led me towards remembering. I went to Australia 5 years ago and had certain events happening in the next years until now, basically, which led me towards remembering. In those 5 years, I started realizing events in my childhood, why I could see that I died when I was 1, and I left my body as a blue ray of light, and I had a conversation with another me, blue ray of light as an example, and went back in my body, and I could remember what this conversation was about. I had some other mystical experiences. I met a woman, a Brazilian woman, and she done Reiki on me, and I got introduced through Reiki firsthand through this, which opened me up on a different level, I'd say. It was really stages, and mystical things happened along the way. that led me towards basically completely losing the identity that I had before, with a car crash, or like I got hit by a car on a highway like 3.5 years ago, in Australia, because of like I just was totally moving into a direction where I wasn't it wasn't healthy. And I was walking on the highway morning at 5 a.m. and got hit by a car. So this kind of woke me up. I woke up in the emergency car, heard what he was saying, like what happened, that I was walking up the highway, he said. And I'm like, just looked at the top and something clicked. And I saw myself like being fit, being healthy, doing my thing. And walked out of the hospital after 3 days. Stopped taking painkillers after 3 days. Started running after 3 weeks. I just recovered so fast, and I healed my physical body so fast and got away with the pain. Found even peace, like in just like what the lessons were during that time. Started really learning about my body and learning to harnessing it on a deeper level through diet, through exercise, through positive affirmations that I've said, really just listening to things that help me grow, like conversations like these, or music, right? There's lots of conscious hip-hop out there, like that is just brilliant if you need to get yourself into a godly state. And yeah, like the more you vibe on those frequencies, and the more you learn, like the more you attract things. And then I attracted, in those 8 months that I got, like I've been on a medical certificate, I found reiki, meditation, kundalini, and coaching at the end, like in the last month. Like 8 months of sick time for myself, doing what I'm doing, finding to all of those 3 things, and like into an organization where I really learned to communicate. I really had to learn to communicate, because my entire childhood, it was like hieroglyphs. I just felt everything and everyone, and I could feel myself in everyone as well. Like I just came like that to this earth. Like I felt this, I couldn't even walk or talk, and I received that information before. So it's kind of natural for me to know those things that I talk about, but it's finally time to talk about it. And I had to let go of all the fear and the false beliefs that in my childhood I started telling myself that I'm not capable to doing things like this, or that they are normal and I'm weird. Now I know that weird is the good thing on it. We are all weird, and we all have gifts, and we all are unique. So tapping into that is what I learned, and to stay in that, because it has been there. It's just for us to allow us to be there, and there's a silence that comes with it.
Mic drop. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And that's very interesting that you were hit by a vehicle. And how long ago was that? So 3 years?
Yeah. Let me wait. Was it 2.5 years or 3.5 years? I must like maybe 21 or 20. No, 22. 25th of April 22. Yeah, no, I have it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you have a conscious near-death experience during that time?
I was aware of what happened around me. Even before I started talking to him, I could see it all from, the outside, I'd say. I was there, but I was more like, I mean, physically not able at all to do anything like that, but I definitely was more out of my body than in my body.
Mhm.
For sure. Yeah. And to survive something like that, this does make something with you.
Mhm.
Because what's possible? Like, if I survive this, like, I think God has a plan. I think God has a plan. So, faith is important. Very, very important.
Absolutely. And I feel like we have all sorts of different catalysts that can happen in our lives, depending on who we are and type of life that we're living. And those catalysts can be very, very impactful. And that can be taken as, good or bad, depending on who we are and our perception of it. But those catalysts ultimately, from what I've been gathering, just from sitting with many individuals around the world and just speaking with people that either go through near-death experiences, end up having tragic events happen, go to prison like myself, they end up being catapults into basically a rebirth of our life. And there's almost like there's this switching of our consciousness, and it's almost like a new perspective and new programming comes online for us in our vessel. And it's very interesting how we use darkness as the catapult or the catalyst for us to be able to ascend into more light, not just for ourselves, but to ultimately be able to give back to others too while on this human journey. It's so fascinating. And I feel like the more that we embrace that, that dualistic balance rather than dualistic separation or dualistic battle, then we can just see it's a continuous motion of life. You can call it life and death, or you can just say it's eternal energy flowing in constant motion, transitioning and changing form. So it's almost like, yeah, you can say that, something's over or something's new or something's old, but we could also say that it's all continuous, and it's just a continuous stream that's continuing off of each other. And when we start to see things that way, we can start to also look back at our timelines and kind of see like, oh, okay, these were all leading up to the next thing, and they all were catalysts of each other. And there is no coincidences in the universe. The Hermetic principle, the law of cause and effect, correspondence. There are no coincidences. Everything has a cause to an effect, as every effect has a cause. So then when we start stepping into that realm, we then step even deeper into the Master Alchemist realm, because instead of us diving into what would be a level of ignorance, which is believing that everything is separate, we then are operating from that level of ignorance, if that makes sense. So then we're only limited to a certain amount of ability due to what we're choosing mentally as our reality to experience. But then if we choose to see the reality and see the experience as a eternal continuation of spirit energy flowing, or however else you'd like to describe it, and that's when you can step into that Master Alchemist a little bit more and see that, oh, okay, I can actually time travel mentally, and I can rearrange, I can heal, and I can bring different aspects into my present self that may be fractured, that may be attached, may be scattered into that specific time and space that is not in my present moment. And it's deep stuff, and it's definitely a topic for another time, like talking about the Akashic records, past life regression, things of that nature, and just how we're able to download, activate, and bring in codes and information that we have had experiences with in those past incarnations and into our present vessel, to be able to activate and utilize those codes from that time in this present vessel that we're in. And for me, that's kind of like something that comes with past life regression and soul retrieval, is taking those aspects from those lifetimes and bring them into the present self, and then utilizing them here in this lifetime. How do you feel about that stuff?
Yeah, soul retrieval definitely does something with you. It's not a joke. It works. Yeah. It's very interesting, how we're going into our psyche. And psyche in Greek is the soul. So interesting connection made from the Greek people, I feel. We always get in every experience what we expect to get. Very weird, but it's very magical and very simple if we learn to tap into that center, right? That is inside every cell of your body is a center. And we can go. It's very interesting because I don't go into ancestral lines like I do. I think I do it subconsciously, but in other realms. Just that I'm not aware of those realms particularly, but through relationships with people, I'm dealing with many people, like publicly people. Like I usually meet a few people a week, a good amount of people, and they are all such an opportunity, each one of them, for me to heal and be in that place of already healed and completely open and transparent and respectful, and just seeing where this moment brings us. It's very interesting. Like, I like a simple, direct way. When we keep things simple, like we always, like for me, it's the best thing to do. If I think about it too much, like, what I'm saying and what is said between the lines, there's always an underlying truth to everything that we experience. And, alone by focusing of accessing that and having someone that helps you to be in your essence and be surrounded by people who help you to be in your essence, like you are all one, right? Choose those people that help you to being fueled up, fired up even, right? Inspiration, like look for what inspires you, those types of things, right? Like we're meant to have joy, like experience joy, have fun in this world. Like I was such a serious kid. Like I really, like I haven't had many things to love as a child, like really. Today I can look over it and I can see, okay, fuck it. They do what they do. "Oh Father, forgive them for what they don't know." Like, it's like that, you know. There's just a way of looking at things from a point of view that is clean and pure and unchangeable. So this is where we all come from and return from, and learn to be in it collectively in order for us to consciously choose what we create. So really sharing, like holding a field of thought and like visions as a collective to create the world that we want to create. Because if we keep focusing on the things that are bad and whatever, man, nature is changing. We are changing. It's a constant in life. We gotta go with it and allow ourselves to just like, if it's stormy, it's fucking stormy. Like, yeah, you know, when I walk through the streets, it's raining. I chill. I enjoy the raindrops on my skin, and the people all like running away from the rain. Really, no appreciation for it even, or like just like, I mean, rain, right? It's there to help us.
It's rain. It's so bad. It's rain.
Yeah. No, there is a saying in German like, "Du bist nicht aus Zucker," which means like you're not of sugar. You're not made of sugar, right? Because sugar would just dissolve or like break down, whatever. Like, you're not made of that. I mean, many people try to become it, which is fucking insane. But but we feel, if we don't have it in our system, we feel those subtle energies, right? And we can discern what's ours and what not, because like what beliefs we take on and what not, right? Who you listen to, what you believe in, which stories you share, what you own, which stories you own for yourself and your life with the experience that you've experienced, the wisdom that you gain, which is the key. Not talking about other people, start talking about what you do, how you do good things for yourself and better yourself, and as we all should do, really. Because collectively, we really gotta clean. Yeah, we gotta clean up big time.
Yeah. Got that right.
Yeah.
Well, brother,
and I'm cleaning these days. Like, it's not funny.
Oh yeah, we're in a very, very deep time right now, collectively. Very deep time. Oof.
We gotta learn to come together and talk about the things that are wrong, that we see that need improvement. Collectively working for the world that we want to have, and individually start with you. Look what you can do. What's the next step that you can take in order for you to just be supportive, right? Be supportive of yourself and the people around you, or at least for yourself. Like, you know, focus on yourself, and if your cup overflows because you give it all to yourself, then you start sharing it with others. Something that I had to learn as well. You know, I think we all go through this process, and there are different stages to it, different octaves, right? Moving up in those frequencies.
Yeah, man. You know, I highly encourage us out there too. Like, you know, it can really start with just having and engaging and starting conversations. And those conversations can start with at home with your family. You know, those conversations being like, hey, like, as a family together, how can we support each other more? What can we do to help, support each other's dreams as a family? Like, are there finances that this person can help with? Are there resources that this person can help with? Do you have skills for this? I mean, like, bringing
Mm-hmm.
kind of like that community mentality to our home life and our family life. Like, don't just like only think and act that way with your communities, but also kind of think and act that way with your families as well. You know, see as individuals in your family, where can this person fit in the best with our family to be able to optimize their natural gifts and their abilities and their capabilities?
Mm-hmm.
And then through your family, then bring that to community. And then you continue to multiply that. And we just all have regular, engaged, everyday conversations with each other about what's your vision? What's your intentions? How are you feeling? Are there things that you need to address? Can we help you with it? I just feel like these things aren't talked about enough every day because there's just so much focus on external entertainment, working, all these things. And these conversations can be had at any time, whether it's before bed, as soon as we get up, at the table for dinner, so many different opportunities.
Yeah, and you're totally right. It's talking about those things that help us, and being interested in what the people in your surrounding are up to, like the people that you live with, the people that you work with, if you can, right? If they're just like not you, okay, I understand. Just relationships is so important, because how you stay in relation to life is the measurement of your life, if you really look at it. You gotta see what you invest time in, and many of our caretakers, what they did is they showed love in form from worrying about what could happen to you if you meet with this person, or go to that party, or come at home after the sun went down. Their way of caring was like worrying that nothing happens to you, rather than how can I support you create the best day that you can have. Like, you see what difference that is from simply focusing on that one? It's in you, what you choose to project on others. And you said it, I think, in one video, our conscious intentions and our unconscious intentions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Because sometimes we may unconsciously not be aware that we could be prolonging something or enabling something that could be, very limiting or very shrinking for that person's field. As in like giving in to their fears or giving into the things that are just not in alignment with the truth of who they are. And to be able to give those gentle reminders and to do it gently too, I feel like is just so valuable, especially in this world today, where people are very hypersensitive and very triggered.
We need gentlemen Yeah.
Hmm. Gentlemen, and we need gentle women, man. You women out there need to be gentle.
Where are we? Where are we, boys and girls? Let's be gentle. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, to be and being able to really be in the feeling of now, having a more constant motion, right? And like through life and emotions and what we're experiencing, like we gotta learn to stay in our center and really see how we can improve staying there. Because like spiritual practices, meditation, all right, exercise, yoga, breathwork, DMT breathwork, like this helped me so much as well in the last years. Cold shower as well. I just learned to deal with stress differently and put myself in sauna. I love going into the sauna. Man, there's so many good things that you can do for yourself. You just have to pick the thing that is present with you and just do it. Because without you doing, probably nothing will happen. It's not that you have to do all day. You don't. But you gotta know when to move. And then you will feel how you do less and achieve more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's that's half of it for us in this world. Is oftentimes we forget, being a third dimensional body, that the third dimensional body requires action. It's like the two-way street, as I call it, with the divine. The two-way street is, giving your prayers, giving your faith to the divine, that the divine is going to give you whatever it is that you need. But then the other part of that street, the other way, is you yourself as a third dimensional being with free will. Is you have to use your free will and your actions and intentions to then do the things for your mechanism or your instrument, your human avatar, your temple, your vessel, whatever you'd like to call it, to be able to radiate those manifestations into this third dimensional realm. And maybe another time we can go into that and dive into the holistic multidimensionality of being human. And we can explain a little more in deep, like what manifestation is, what the law of attraction is, what it is to just simply be a electromagnetic human being. That's something that I feel like we could really all use, getting back to the basics of, is what is a electromagnetic human being in the first place? And then this can help us uncover so many secrets, quote unquote, about the law of attraction, manifestation, grounding, ascension, because it does all have to do with our electromagnetic field, our light body, our energy body. But man, I wish we could keep flowing right now, but I actually have to get off of here so I can go deliver some pizza in the 3D.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. Thank you. And you're right. There is so much information that just wants to come through you, through me. And thanks for you watching as well, like just feeling the presence and being in a space of appreciation for life is why I came here, right? Why I came here and what I came here to experience. So having the opportunity to meet more and more amazing people and to really build community and be able to share our gifts with each other, as you said before, right? We all have it. It's time to give it. And yeah, don't be greedy.
Moderation.
Yeah. Moderation. Yeah. It's like that. It's balance. Total balance. It even comes with standing on one leg. That's what I realized under the shower, even before I had the breakdown I had a psychological breakdown too in Australia. Different story. But I found out how my thoughts were connected to my balance, if I could wash my feet under the shower. And I really learned to control my thoughts, balancing myself out, washing my feet in the shower. Like, it's just a constant improvement. Like, now I'm like, as a child, like, am I crazy? Am I going nuts? In Australia, I thought I'm going completely nuts. Like, with all of the things that suddenly just like, there it is. Look at them. Now. Yeah, so, yeah, you gotta learn. And it has been uncomfortable for most of us. Probably all. So.
Indeed. All right, brother. I gotta hop off. We can definitely get another one going soon. Just let me know a good time for you. And also, for everybody out there, I do have our good brother here. I have all of his information down below in the description for you guys, so you guys can contact him and get a hold of him if you're interested in any of his one-on-one services, or if you'd just like to connect and share space with him. So reach out. I'm sure he'll be glad to answer any questions for you guys, the best visibilities, and we'll definitely be on here again, so keep an eye out. Any closing words for you to the collective?
Yes. Take a step back and look at the past and learn from it. And in the present, you use what you've learned from the past, from the present, and create the future that you want to create. And you will see how the entire universe conspires to your greatness when you do it for yourself. If you conspire to your greatness, the universe conspires to your greatness. And it's, to tap into that creatorship. And you mentioned bliss before. That is just all surrounding you. It's a gift, and time to tap in. Yeah. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you all for tapping in and joining us on this episode of Sacred Light Conversations. I'll be back for another very soon. Wholeness and balanced love. Have a blessed and beautiful day.